you fucking muppet, I'll fucking strike you. That is not what I mean. Please don't strike me. I don't think I could withstand the striping. I should get claret in my petticoats. But in the yobs, it was too late. I'd already said, like, foolishly. Nobody's making anybody eat like the yob comes and the sort of chief yob made his way towards me, right? And the chief yob at least has a kind of trash, criminal, Jean Genet glamour about him. You know, at least he's got so like a bit funny, oh yeah, he's a bit butch and that, right? But what I really hate is the chief yob's lick-spittle sidekick. I hate that guy. Like, the chief yob sort of comes towards me, and, yeah, you fucking what, you fucking can't, you fucking can't, you fucking can't, you fucking can't. Consuming more and more space. But it's membrane of yob being expletive and stop. And that's to sort of transform my expression from nobody's making anybody dirt. Oh, I'm really in trouble. Crikey, I gave you the wrong impression. So like I remember sort of castrating myself and sort of subjugating, like sort of putting my genitals between my thighs, like that bloke in Silence of the Lambs, like when he stands in front of the mirror, and I was like, that's a relatively successful homemade sex gender transformation operation. He's done like, why bother going on that killing spree to make a rather fanciful all-in-one woman flesh bodysuit, you know? That's quite a good method, you know? But I was able to resolve this dilemma of why he did do that, because Silence of the Lambs would be a less intriguing film if it had been about one man's struggle with gender identity, upon which he hadn't acted other than to wear women's clothes. Genes have returned to the fore, which are actually castrating me as well, peculiarly. Yeah, Silence of the Lambs wouldn't have been such a good film if Hannibal Lecter had gone, those shoes don't really suit you. So that sort of the chief yob, as I say, at least he has that kind of plausible criminal glamour about him. The chief yob's lick-spittle psychic, he sees my terror, my horror, my angst, fixes me a glare and says, you can't play the hero, mate, if you don't know the fucking lines. That's brilliant, isn't it? You can't play the hero if you don't know the fucking... He just came up with that kid, who's been reared on a diet of Tizer and KFC. For all I know, intravenously. One thing I did not expect to confront in that situation was a perfectly formed epigram. So, George Bernard Shaw with a flick knife.
Well, sir, this confrontation is the indefatigable in hot pursuit of the insurmountable.
Just got enough. In that situation, I was just trying to escape from being me for a moment. For like, I'll be someone else, but there was a high price to pay. And here's my the animating thesis, I believe it's called, of this show that I'm doing now. This is me doing it, right? This is part of it. Is that you know, you just do stuff, or I just do stuff. Let's keep it singular. To distract me from death, right? So I have to distract me from death. It may not withhold analysis, that idea. I've not really thought it through properly, so it's like over the course of 25 minutes, well, no, actually, that doesn't make sense. So, you know, just let it go. You know, I just thought of it briefly, and it sort of seemed like quite a good thing to understand. Oh, you know, sort of, what's the point of material consumption, all the distraction from death? What's the point? Yeah, everything. But but it's really hard for me to write stand-up comedy because, I'm not good at writing in the conventional fashion. I have to sort of do odd things to stimulate myself, right? But I do try and write at home, like sort of sit in the room with computer, right? Okay, let's do some writing now. But if I sit at home on my own with a computer, I will just end up wanking. I'm not taking responsibility for that anymore because the computer suggests it, right? Like things that appear on the screen. Sometimes I just want to get on with it like, ooh, Russell. Perhaps you might enjoy looking at some images of some ladies' boobs. Well, I suppose no one's getting hurt. It's a victimless crime, ain't it? It's not as if I was there with a camera. I never took them. They're probably free, though, so they probably make an honest living. But, like, the computer is not sated with that. If you enjoyed the boobs, perhaps you might like to see images of women kissing. Oh, well, I mean, it's quite a suggestion, but I suppose, again, no one's being hurt by it. I couldn't ponder it for a while. If you enjoyed the women kissing, perhaps you might rather relish Japanese coprophiliacs devouring each other's feces. In for a penny, in for a pound. Tumbling endlessly like mucky Lewis Carroll labyrinth, following some white rabbit of filth in some realm of cyber disgust, like dwarf fuckers. And you just think, like, if there's women doing that to horses, you know, can I remain alone much longer? They're real people, they're real horses, they're doing those things. So lonely. Where are these people? And I'm not saying that's not the benchmark for a relationship. Find me a woman who sucks the horse's cock. Then we'll start talking about marriage. You know. Obviously not. The computer, though, has sort of seemed to have developed some kind of binary guilt, some sort of cyber consciousness. It's all slowed down. It don't like it no more. It's like it's had an effect. There have been consequences to it, almost like as if it feels bad, like it's slow now. I thought, oh, should we have a look at some pornographic images, shall we? Oh, not today, boy. It's all wheezy and it doesn't like it no more. And I had to get a computer engineer round, right, to me out because it had got so bad, the situation, and he said, like, he gestured to the computer, thusly, right, I mean, it might not have been that elaborate, he might have done that, but the way I see it, you know, that it wasn't an expressionistic computer engineer, you know, he didn't do it for sort of commedia dell'arte, but he just sort of went, you know, well, essentially the text is also important, the sync to the body. You can't really be a computer engineer and communicate just through body language. Restricted. He said, this, and that's the computer at the end of that, right, nothing odd, Henry Moore statue. This is the worst case of downloading pornography that I have ever encountered, which made me feel a curious blend of shame and pride, which is peculiar because that's precisely what I feel when I ejaculate onto the keyboard. I need this. Always the keyboard, of course, sometimes my own abdomen, making a silken sheet of effluvia to warm me. Swaddling myself in 1,000 million tiny little me's to warm me from the certain knowledge of death. Perhaps if I pull this quilt of tiny cells about me, perhaps I won't be afeared of the night time. Perhaps this will protect me. Perhaps it might harden into a husk and form into a cocoon, and I might change within, metamorphosize, and then emerge renewed like a butterfly and fly free, and then alight upon the finger of a gentlewoman. This has as yet failed to occur. Generally, I stir and see the cat just looking at me, kind of contemptuous. Don't touch my food. Been trying to, I sort of as well, go to like sex shops and that, you know, cheer myself up, soak in the atmosphere. If you're a man, it's sort of better to go to the sex shop with a woman, eh? Because then it's sort of like a passport to pornography, you know, you sort of feel like, yeah, it's all right, I'm really together. The other pervert.